join us for the whole class. So let's stand, that's it, lovely. So just rounding those shoulders, couple more. Make sure you change directions, go both ways. And just breathing in nice and slowly through the nose and out through the mouth. Lovely. Okay, then just pop your hands together in prayer position, just under your chin, so your elbows are sticking out, making sure you've got a nice gap there between the feet. Just open them a little wider there. And just breathing in through the nose. We're just going to turn from side to side and just out as you go to the side. So just really turning from the waist here to warm up the back. So breathing in and out as we go. So nice and slowly. So really think about breathing in and drawing those core muscles in. So we're working the tummies as we're turning from side to side, and just think about pulling up the pelvic floor as we breathe out as well. Lovely. And next time you go to the side, let's take the arm behind us. Let's just step forward slightly. Take the arm behind you and then bring it back to prayer as you come back to center. So just rotate a little bit further. Take the head a little bit further. So looking further behind you. Deepen that stretch behind as we're opening the chest. So let's do one more each side. And then come back to center. And now we'll just keep the hands here in this position. We're going to go down into a squat. As we go down to squat, I just want you to rotate and push one elbow to the ceiling. Come back to center and just push the other one to the ceiling. So you're keeping the legs there, and then we just come up. So as we come up, pull up the pelvic floor, and then let's just breathe out as we go down. Let's just rotate again. And the other side. And then just come up to center, and just take your stance a little bit wider, because I want you to lift a heel as well when we go down next time. So breath in here, breathing out as we go down. So let's lift a heel as we dip to the other knee and come back to center. Lift the other heel as we dip to the knee and come back to center and just come up. And let's repeat that. Let's go down. So I'm dipping and breathing out. I'm breathing in and then breathing out to come up again. Let's just repeat that one more time. So down we go, breathing out. Back to center and just breathing in. Lovely. And then just push yourselves back up to center nice and tall. Just take the hands down here. And I just want you to take the legs and just hold on to the front top knee if you can, and just guide it round just for a little stretch. I'm just going to come off my mat there. Just to come round, that's it, and round. Oops, it's not very good, it's a bit wobbly tonight. And round. I think it's because I'm trying to hold my knee. If you need to let go, I find it easier to let go, but just guide that knee back a little bit there. Lovely, and then back the other way for a couple. Just get those hips nicely warmed up. And then let's just do the other side. Take the other knee up. And then back the other way. Lovely, well done, super. Come back to center, and then let's just warm up the back by doing some roll downs. So let's just do a couple of roll downs. So I'm just turning sideways so you can see me really as much as anything, but just tuck that tummy under, take a breath in, tuck the chin to chest there, and then just let yourself fold down. Just visualize the spine opening up for you as you're rolling down. So taking a look at your legs as you go down, breathing out all the way down. Just go as far as you can. Don't worry if you can't touch the ground to start with. And then breath in here at the bottom and roll yourselves up. Breathing out as you come up. As you come up nice and tall, let's pull the shoulders back, look to the ceiling and breathe. Big breath in, and then just draw the head down again, and let's roll down again. Just let the arms hang, push yourself down, all the way down to the mat. Lovely. Okay, and then from here, let's just walk our hands down. Just bring yourself over onto your backs. We're going to start on the backs to start with. And we're just going to come into a little position here where we're just laying ourselves down nice and flat on the mat, Bring the knees up into tabletop. So just draw that core in and just take the arms to the ceiling there. So making sure you've closed the gap underneath the waist by pulling the tummy in. Bring the knees back over the hips to start with to do that, and then just move the knees back out so your knees are directly above the hips. And let's just point the arms up at the ceiling. All I want you to do here is make sure your shoulder blades are on the back of the mat, and then just lift them up so they come off the mat and drop them down again. So let's lift and drop and lift and drop. So that's just loosening up and mobilizing the shoulder blades there. Okay, lovely. So one more of those. Okay, and then hold it there, and then we're going to take one foot down and opposite arm overhead. So we toe tap and bring the arm back. We're taking one arm and one leg, so we're just going to toe tap. So it's opposites going down to the mat, so just touching the floor above the head, touching the foot away. Lovely. So opposite one. So keeping that tummy drawn in, keeping the back pushed into the mat, so you're nice and strong there. That's it. Coming back to center each time. One more each side. It's just nice and gentle to start with, and then just come back to center there. I just want you to place your hands onto your hips, and we're going to do 4 little hip rolls without moving the pelvis too much, so you won't be able to roll too far. So take a breath in. So just start to roll, but try and keep the hips still. So you're not going to get very far, and then come back to center by drawing on that tummy, and then tip to the other side. So it's probably only a couple of centimeters you're rocking, and come back to center. So you're just moving a tiny bit on the back of the hip bone there, and back to center. So breathing out, and just pull yourselves back up. And now on the next one, you can go a bit further. So let's just release the arms and take them out to T on the floor, and roll completely over to the side and back to center and over to the side. Now if you want to challenge yourself, you can bring the arms to the center, and you can just take the knees over and drop the opposite arm with the opposite side of the knees are going. So let's just take the arms to the ceiling and one the other way. So you should be really pulling up from the core. This shouldn't be hurting the back. The knees should be just coming up from the core there. So one more each side. Looking good, ladies. And then back to center. And then we're just going to put the feet back down there. And we're going to go up into bridge work, and we're just going to add on to the bridge as well. So just making sure your knees are parallel, okay, and your feet are fairly near your bottom. So taking a breath in here, we're just going to roll the hips back to the rib cage. Make sure the rib cage are meeting the hips almost, and closing the gap underneath the waist, and just roll them out again. So just tip those hips backwards and forwards to start with, just to make sure you're familiar with just moving the hips there and closing that gap under the waist. Okay, next one, let's take a breath in, breathing out, roll through the waist, and let's go up. Let's take our arms up, pushing the hips towards the ceiling, pushing the knees away, and reaching those arms overhead. So really pushing the hips up high, stretch into the glutes, big breath in here, and then breathing out and rolling back down. You're familiar with these. We'll be adding on in a second. Okay, so when we've done that, let's go up again, taking a breath in here, breathing out. Let's roll ourselves all the way up, pushing the arms away overhead. Big breath in here, and then just breathing out, rolling back down. We're going to add on now. We're bringing the head and shoulders up, and we're coming forward into a curl up crunch. So we're just rocking forwards, and then we're going to bring the head and shoulders back down. And we're going to then roll the hips up and bring them up onto shoulders. So we're going to sort of seesaw the bridge into a curl up. So let's do some more of those. So breath in here, breathing out, roll through each vertebrae before you bring the head and shoulders up. Bring the head and shoulders up, reach to those knees. Breath in here, breathing out. Let's bring that back down, and then just roll through the back. Make sure you push the waist and every vertebrae into the mat. Don't skip any, because we're coming up into curl up. Okay, breath in here, breathing out. Rolling up, let's go through again. Lovely, very nice. Looks good, Melissa. Well done, everybody. There we go, breathing back out. Let's just go over one more time. And here we go. So big breath in, so rolling up. Oh, that's it, just coming up. That's it, lovely. And then just rolling back through. Breathing out and reaching forward towards the knees, stretching forward there, lovely long arms, and then just bring yourselves back down. Okay, and then we're going to change what we're doing. We're going to curl up to seated and curl over the feet. So just walk your feet away a little bit so you've got your legs longer. If you want to go into straight legs, we're going to go straight into rolling up and then curling over the toes. So whatever you can do. If you need to have the knees bent and you need to hold the backs of the thighs, that's also fine. So breath in here, breathing out, peel yourself up off the floor, bring yourselves forward and curl yourselves over your toes to start with. Lovely, so really nice stretch there. Big breath in here and then breathing out, keeping the back rounded. Let's just roll ourselves back down one vertebrae at a time. And stop before you get to the floor. See if you can hold yourself just up off the mat. Just can you hold it there for a second and then continue down and take the arms overhead. Okay, breath in here, breathing out. Let's curl ourselves up. Let's just hold it. Don't come all the way. Just hold it that halfway mark. See if you can hold it there. Hold that core. Lift one leg and bring yourself forward and reach forward. Lower the leg down as you continue your journey forward. So breathing out. Okay, so we're going to now do a windmill arm back and take ourselves back with the other arm back, and we're coming halfway and we're going to roll down, just adding a bit of variety here, and then just bring those arms overhead and then breath up here, windmill arms forward. We're going to reach over to the toe and the other one and come forwards. And then this time lift the other leg that we hadn't lifted as we came up. So we lifted one when we came up, lift the other leg and roll yourself back down. One arm, two arms, and roll yourself down. And bring them overhead. And then let's just roll up again. One arm, the other arm, lift the other leg. Let's reach forward. I'm just adding legs and arms here. And reaching all the way forwards. Okay, then just one more time. So let's take the other leg up, reach one arm over, reach the other arm over, roll yourself back down, all the way down. Lovely. And then bring that foot down. And then we're just going to roll ourselves up to seated. So just take a breath in here, breathing out, roll yourself up sort of fairly normally as you go. Just come forward, have a stretch forward to the toes for a second just to release the back. And then sit up nice and tall, take those arms to the ceiling. And then we're just going to open the arms to the T. We're going to turn to the side. And then we're just going to fold forward and just bring the arms around over the toes. And just come round to the other side and just bring the arms up to T. I'm just going to move over. So just rotating to the side, folding forward, bringing the other arm round. Do a sort of a round the world type movement. And bring yourselves up to nice and tall. So the same again, the other side. So just coming forwards, bringing the arms round to the other side, and then up and the arms into T. And then one more the other way. So sort of just folding over, folding forwards, bringing the arms around over the legs. Lovely. And stretching, coming back to center. Lovely. So just here, just bring your knees in, give yourselves a little hug of the knees there, just stretch out the back there and the shoulders. And then from here, if we just come over onto all fours, I've got some all four fun work to do. So coming onto our hands and knees, come this way just so I can see you all. Lovely. Just here. Okay, so just making sure hands are directly beneath shoulders and knees directly beneath your hips, and you've got your knees open, hip width apart. Okay, just to start with a couple of nice cat stretches. So take a big breath in here to engage the core. And then just breathing out, tip the hips towards the rib cage, turn the head down, have a look at the tops of the leg, breathing all the air out. And then just breathe in and come forward and extend. Okay, one more of those before we add on. So take a breath in now, just breathing out, round the back round. Check you're all okay, lovely. And then just come forward and extend. And then just come back to center, curling your toes under, just round the back by taking a big breath out there. Push your bottom up into downward facing dog. So have a stretch up there into downward facing dog. Come up onto your tiptoes. Okay, I want you to look forward if you can, stretch in the back there. Lovely. Okay, then I want you to just come down into all fours and bringing you back down, taking us into Superman, which is one arm forward, one leg forward. So you're adding these all together, we're just adding on, doesn't matter which way you are, so it's one arm, one leg, bring them back down to center, do the other arm and other leg, and then bring them back down, and then this time we're going to take them out, one arm, one leg, and try and lift them up a little bit. You won't get too high, but try and lift them up, reach to the ceiling, look up and try and lift up, try and move the leg up behind you as well. Lovely, then bring them back down and do the other side. So lifting up, extending, looking to the ceiling, lifting up that back leg, and then bring it down. Breathing in, take a cat stretch here, breathing out, we're rounding the back. Breathing in and just look forward in front of your hands, curl the toes under, push your bottoms back up into downward facing dog, have a stretch here. Stretching down there, come up onto the tiptoes, just reaching forward slightly over the hands. Bring yourself back down onto your knees, taking one arm, one leg out into Superman again, so reaching long. And this time take that arm and leg out to the side, and then come back into center, keeping your eyes looking forward of your hands. Bring that down, switch and do the other side. So other arm and leg out long, take them out to the side, come back to center, bring them down, and then switching to the other arm and leg, and this time as you go out nice and long, lift them both up. Try and make a bit of a V shape in your back, looking to the ceiling. You'll feel a nice stretch in your bottom there, and then bring that down and do the other side. Nearly done on this one. So taking the arm and leg out long, look up, reach to the ceiling, point the toes away, really reaching hard behind. Lovely, and bring those down. You'll be pleased to know you may go back into a child's pose for a stretch of the back. So just push yourself back there, pop your head down, just have a rest here. Wiggle the hips from side to side to loosen up any tension there in the back. Very nice. I'm just going to grab myself a quick drink. Do take a drink at any time, everybody. Okay, lovely. All right, so from here we're coming over onto our backs to do some leg work on our back. So just bring yourself over, lay yourself down, and let's just take our knees into tabletop again. So lay yourselves down on your back. Just bring your knees in towards your chest just to lift the bottom a bit to make sure that back's on the floor. And then just take those knees back out to tabletop. Lovely. So what we're going to do here is a double leg stretch from this position. So taking a breath in, we're going to curl the head and shoulders up, take the arms overhead, and then just push the legs out long. And then we're just going to bring them back to tabletop and just bring yourself down again. So just a slightly different version. So pushing those legs out long, point the toes away. The lower they are, the kind of more you work your core. And then just bring the knees back to tabletop. So we'll just do 2 more of those because we're going to change what we do. So reaching out long, and then just bring the knees in to back over your hips to tabletop. 1 more like this, reaching out long, and then just bringing your hands back to your knees to tabletop. Okay, and then from here, we're going to just bring our knees, let me just remind myself what we're going to do. Yeah, head and shoulders down, so we're just going to take the legs out long and low. So push the legs out long, and then just bring them in. So just push the legs out long and bring them in. So just 2 more of these. So pushing them out long and in and long and in. That's lovely. Okay, and then we're just going to take the legs up to the ceiling, and we're just going to take our hands by our head, Okay, so nice long straight legs, and we're just going to take a breath in, and we're going to just curl our head and shoulders up. We're going to lower one leg down and just rotate towards the knee that's up. Try and keep the legs straight though, and then just bring it back as you switch to the other side. And just bring it back. So we're just keeping the head and shoulders up, keep that leg long, and switching. So just lowering the opposite leg and just pointing the opposite elbow to it. So just a rotation there. Breathing out as we go up, and then just breathing in to come back to center. So try and keep those legs straight. I know it's hard for some of you, but really think about pushing the toes to the ceiling. Imagine you've got a piece of string around your feet, pulling you up to the ceiling there. So nice and long. So one more each side. And then just come back to center. Okay, so back to center. So we're going to keep the legs up at the ceiling, and I want you just to do a little sort of rock from side to side with long straight legs. This is called pendulum. So using the core to pull yourself back up. So you're going to breathe out to bring those legs up. So breathe in to let them drop to the side. You don't need to go all the way down to the floor. Breathe them up to center and back to the side, back to center. So try and keep the legs nice and pointed, the toes pointed, so you're really toning those legs. So a couple more each side, and you can have a breather on the legs. We'll add on. So one more each side. Let's go for it. Pushing that leg across to the side. Anytime if your legs ache, do just give your knees a hug to chest. And then back to center. So let's all just bring the knees in. Have a little hug here. Have a little rock from side to side, massaging the lower back. Okay, we're going to do some leg circles up at the ceiling here. So just having those legs pointing up at the ceiling, just take the arms out to the side to balance yourselves, okay? So just drawing the core in. So we're going to draw some circles with the legs, take them round and back to center. When you come back to center, give yourselves a little hip lift. So go back the other way, breathing out, breathing in, and a hip lift. And we're going round, and a little hip lift. Okay, so round, and a little hip lift. And we're going again. And a little hip lift. And then if anybody wants to add on with the hip lift, instead of just a hip lift, can we take the legs over? Just might need to bring your arms in just to help you to go over, and then just bring the legs back down if you want to, and continue round. So you could use a cushion under your bottom there just to help give you the height. So we're just going to go round and just lift the legs. That's it. So if you need to bring your arms in next to you, that might make it easier for lifting up. If anybody wants to try and come overhead, it is quite tough, but if you can try it and you want to try it, feel free. And then come down. So just one more of those circles, and a lift, and an add-on if you want to come over. That is quite tough. And then back to center. And then please give yourselves a hug again. So bring the knees down and just give yourselves a little hug and massage that lower back. Super. Well done, everybody. Okay, just have a breather there. Just going to stop that recording.